Barrister Mbeseh, last week, we dealt with a part of Mimi Menfo trying to contradict President Sako. There was actually a communique from Dr. Martin Mungwa addressing that squarely, giving reasons why what Mimi Mefo thinks about President Sako is is irrelevant at the moment. This time around, it is herself and Mfo Hansen projecting that the ghost town, which we report here as peaceful, as we just reported on Monday, we're together in the news where we analyze how people are respecting it and how people do other things to keep body and soul together on that day because they've accepted it. But here we are, they've pushed it down on Ambazonians that it's a day marred by violence. Still from Mimi Mefo. What would your thought be on this?
Well, I think Dr. Martin Mongwa adequately addressed Mimi Mifo. And on what we said before, Mimi Mifo is somebody seeking relevance. She's not doing it ignorantly. No, she just wants relevance. She's not making a mistake. She's just lying. For me, she's just lying because she wants to get popularity on social media and get paid by YouTube or Facebook or whatever media she's using. And so these are dishonest people. But Mimi Mifo is a private individual. And so I think what Dr. Mungwa said about her is sufficiently enough to address her. If she was thinking that we didn't know where or what is going on. And if you permit me, this will take me to another segment, to another element of this official version. These poor popular newspapers lie for specific reasons. They want popularity, they want the market, and so on and so forth. But I was privileged to watch a segment where they were interviewing Madame Regina Mundi. We all know Madame Regina Mundi, who was supposed to have been captured, a senator from Bamenda, captured by Choyaba and his team, and subsequently released. She has written a book, a whole book about her ordeal in the capture. That's not my problem. My problem is the interviewer who interviewed him publicly asked him, all this thing is going on, and you live in Bamenda. Have you had the opportunity to talk to your own constituents who are in prison? He mentioned Manchu BBC, for example, who is in prison in Bamenda, in Yaoundé there. He's your constituent. Have you talked to him? Sisi Ayoktabe? He said, no, I've not talked to them. Oh, they're just wrong. I've not talked to them. The person ventured again to ask, you are giving me this interview in the United States. You're in the United States. The bulk of this fighting is being organized from the United States. Have you talked to President Sako? Have you talked to Eric Tato? He mentioned all those names. Now that you're here, have you talked to any of them? No, I've not talked to any of them. They are just wrong. They should. I've talked to some people who were involved in the fighting who have just disarmed. This is a high-profile person whose adoption carried world news. This is a politician of a very high level. Above all, this is an old mother, a great-grandmother. And adopting children from Bamenda, where she lives, it meant nothing to her. All what was important to her was just she was driving a Prado with a security guard and a driver. And then they asked her, the interviewer asked her, we learned about the death of that your driver who drove with you that day. What happened to him? She has no answer. So these people who are just greedy, who are distorting the facts. Madame Mundi, by her age, by her education, she's a well-trained teacher, went to Colonial. She knows the history of all what we are fighting for. She's a politician. The epic center of the fighting we are told is in Bamenda. She's from Bamenda town. Manchu BBC, the demonstration had taken place in Bamenda. He is one of their constituents. Madame Mundi wants us to sympathize with her for being pretentiously adopted. Why pretentiously? Because she tells you her own mouth. While she was in Choyaba's camp, under grade number, whatever thing they call him, he asked for 2 exercise books, which they gave him. One he used in writing his will, one he used in writing his notes. That became the basis of his book, her book that she has published. She wants to pretend that she was detained, that she was abducted. Which they were able to give her material to take notes, come out and publish books. Whereas she cannot, and she has never been able to address the people that matter. She knows that this struggle is important. She knows those who started. She comes from the same town with Atanganji. She knows Paul Biya. Paul Biya begs her. She is even a senator appointed by Paul Biya. She has taken no step. If people at this level are so dishonest, how much do we expect from the Mimi force who are making capital out of the struggle? And so this is why we fight. And then taking it back again to the ghost town we're talking about. These are people who are accomplices to what we're going through. And if she had fallen into the hands of somebody who was instead helping her to write books, at the end, because she started a book, I saw her with a pile of books. She's advertising a book. And then she wants the struggle to end. What do you expect her to tell you one day? She had not been talked to through BBC. They adopted her, she came back live. She's not in prison. There are Yoktabe and the rest who are adopted from Nigeria. She's not even able to say, look, that was wrong. Manchu will be here, BBC are unconstituent. Tasang, Dekin Tasang, and those who came from Bamenda. Pan follow Fongalam, for she knows them by name, she knows them physically. And in her privileged position, she could not say anything. What did she do? When, after Weber spoke in the front of Parliament, they started chasing him until he ran away. What did she say? Even with parliamentary immunity, that she knows very well, she's a very educated woman. She could not raise a finger to tell the government why you trying to catch this man for speaking on the floor of Parliament. This is terrible. These are people that they want us to remember them. For what? I don't know. For complicity in the crimes, for complicity in the genocide, for complicity in the assimilation, or what? The answer, she's publishing these books here because our children are here, enjoying the freedom of independence, enjoying the freedom of free speech. Why she could give a speech there, why she could publish books there. But she doesn't think about her great-grandchildren who are left in Bamenda, running the streets in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Bafoussam, begging bread. And so the Mimimi force are symbolic. Well, we have a bigger fight to fight. We have the Regina Mundis. She's not alone. She's just a symbolic one. And so again, Mimi for we have told her and those who do like her that we are not going to be used as a toy for making money. We correct them. We tell our own story, which is what Dr. Martin Mungwa did, which is what we've been insisting. We correct what they say. We are simply victims. We are just victims. And I said a few days ago that look, whatever thing they say, ghost towns are orders, and there's a consequence for defiance. People who defy these things and get punished for whatever thing or suffer the consequences, they are just being used by the administration. Is it not the very administration that goes down, locking people's doors, double locks because they locked on goes down? But how do they even go locking it? They come there in armored cars, in protected gear, because they themselves are afraid of doing it. Then you, the ordinary guy in Monya, in Mass 16, in Quen, he will go out with a bare chest to show defiance to please a master who will not recognize your value. And so, me for, we're sorry to say you're on the wrong path. Because you know the facts, lying will not help you. truth will prevail, like it or not. Over to you.
Well, I love how you analyze this. And yeah, we still have more analysis coming in.